Welcome back to Where There's a Wheel, There's a Way. I'm Jill Dudzinski, and today we are sponsored by Neat Method here in Omaha. Neat Method is the largest home organization brand in North America with over 95 locations across the U.S. and Canada. Neat Method has a line of functional, beautiful organizational products, and Allison Helligso owns the Omaha Neat Method. She joins us today. They service the greater Omaha area, Lincoln, Council Bluffs, and other surrounding areas. And their services include organization in every space of homes and businesses: kitchens, pantries, closets, offices, playrooms, storage rooms, garages, and everything in between. They help their clients declutter, offer packing and unpacking services for moves, and offer consulting services when building or remodeling. They believe that every space deserves to have the neat touch, a functional and aesthetically pleasing flow in systems. When your home is less cluttered and everything has a place, your life will be calmer, more efficient, and easier to maintain. That is true. Thank you so much for sponsoring Neat Method. Enjoy the episode. Okay, we are here today. I'm so excited, guys. Welcome back to Where There's a Wheel, There's a Way. Today we have Allison. You guys, I'm scared. Helligso.
You go, girl.
Yes, here. She is with Neat Method. So I have like 80 million questions for you as it relates to like my own, like, because I have questions. But I'm so excited to hear about how you got started, how long you've been in business, about the business.
Yeah.
So can you give us your little elevator pitch?
Yeah.
Your little spiel.
I opened up Neat Method Omaha. So Neat Method is a franchise, and we're in, I think it's now almost 100 markets across the U.S. and Canada. Yep. It's for sure, North America's, I'm going to say the world's. I don't know about anything bigger.
Not guaranteed, guys, but it is the world's
Please don't sue
best.
me. Yeah, no, not best, but, well, yes, best, but largest organizing company. And we're in all these different markets across the U.S. and Canada. And then we have a product line. And yeah, so I opened up the Omaha market 2.5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And before that, I owned a house cleaning company for almost 10 years. And I sold that 7 years ago, and then I retired for a little bit.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it was good. And then came out of retirement.
Yeah. Retired, loved it, got bored.
It was always going to be like a temporary, as a business owner, it's a 24/7 mind altering mind. Yeah, it's just like it's all consuming. And so, I got a little burnout, I think.
For sure.
From just all aspects of that, and I needed to take a break and kind of reflect on what do I want business to look like. I want to be a business owner, but what do I want it to look like, and what do I need to do to get it there?
Yes.
And how can I successfully learn from mistakes made, hits made, and bring that into a new business.
So, okay, I'm so interested in the cleaning homes too. How many clients did you have? Were you doing it by yourself? Did you have staff at that point too?
When I sold it, I had 28 employees.
What?
And we had over 400 regular clients, but we also did a lot of one-time cleans and deep cleans. So, yeah,
wow.
Hence the stress. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was wonderful, and I loved it. I started it out just me.
Wow.
And then I got a little busy, and I thought, maybe I'll get somebody to help me.
Yeah.
And then a little bit busier, and then it kind of grew and evolved. And yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I recently announced I'm maybe selling my business too. How was that process for you? Was that?
It was good. It was actually, I wasn't looking to sell even.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was contacted by a business brokerage firm, and they said, we have a client that's interested in buying your business. And it was like a letter, and I thought it was junk, obviously.
Spam.
Yeah, so I thought I tossed it, but I just put it into, an abyss of paperwork. And then like 2 months later, I found it. And at that point, I found it, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll just talk to him.
Yeah.
And I talked to them, and I talked to the guy that wanted to buy it, and I don't know, I felt peace about it right away. And so I thought about it and prayed about it, and yeah, it all moved pretty quickly from there.
Wow.
And
awesome.
And they took care of all the,
paperwork,
all the work side of it. And
very cool.
Yeah. So yeah.
So then were you always knowing you wanted to do like organizational things, or were you did you stumble upon Neat Method?
Like from when I was young or after that?
Ooh, both questions.
Well, I don't remember thinking about that when I was young. However, my dad will say, he's like, I'm not shocked at all you're doing this. He's like, the amount of times you would rearrange your bedroom, I think that's a pretty common girl thing.
I
But he's
did
like,
that too, yeah.
and organizing this in the house and organizing that and trying to organize our family schedule and all that. But no, with my cleaning company, we did do some organization projects because I love taking care of people's homes, period, to help them find more peace in their home and therefore more peace in their lives. And I do genuinely mean that. And so I found that with the cleaning company, and then organization is the same thing. I feel like if you love where you live and you love, your home should be your safe space, and your home should be your place of peace, you know? And when we have that, we just function better and more efficiently. And so I always knew after I sold that, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take a little time off and then I'm going to start an organization business. And it was just, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
And then, so I was like, when my daughter starts kindergarten, that's what I'm going to do. And then some life things happened and some COVID things happened.
What?
Put a little pause. I was like, I don't know if I want to start a business where I say, I'm a stranger. I'm going to come into your home and touch everything. So that put a little pause on that. But then when the time was right, I was ready to start my own. And then I had been following Neat Method for years on social, and just all of a sudden was like, oh my goodness, they have franchises.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize that.
You didn't think it was an option.
No. So I reached out, and then it all happened pretty quickly after that.
So fun.
Yeah.
What was that show on, gosh, was it TLC about organizing? It's probably your competitor technically. So do you know what I'm talking about?
I guess.
Do you?
You're talking about Home Edit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that like a competitor?
You could say so. That's everybody's competitor.
Oh, okay.
Well, but yeah, I mean, the Home Edit is great. They're out there doing their thing, and they obviously have monopolized a lot of, well, I mean, they have like a full line of organizing products that we use. They have other product lines even. I think they have a luggage line at Walmart now.
Oh, really?
So they're out there doing the damn thing.
I just like the show.
Yeah, no, I liked it.
So
yeah, I liked it too.
Looking through your stuff on your reels, and I'm like, oh my God, like seeing the before and seeing the after.
Satisfying.
Yeah,
no, yeah.
And it's real life.
They're doing great, and they do have some franchises, but Neat Method has more.
I know, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's super satisfying and gratifying being a part of like a very successful brand, because okay, so here in Omaha, we're doing our own thing, and in order to grow and in order to just, show what we can do, I have to hustle, and my team, we have to hustle, and we have to do the work. But it's great having a successful brand behind us of people that have figured it out and have, tips to share, and the product line and just the corporate support. So
yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So when you first got started, was like, how did you come across new clients? Were they your old clients from cleaning? You just reached out and networked?
Yeah, I've had a couple that it's been awesome to work with them again.
Yeah.
Because we already had, I always enjoy like building personal relationships with my clients. And there are a lot of my clients that I would truly consider their friends now. And,
so
I could call them and they could call me. They could call me for a drink, and I'd be like, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Because, having someone in your home to see your like places you're a little embarrassed about, or places you feel shame about, or your kind of your hidden spots, that takes a lot of vulnerability and bravery on their part. And I truly recognize that. And so I want them to feel safe with me, and I want them to trust me and feel comfortable with me. And that kind of grows into, it's more personal, which I love.
Yeah.
But yeah, how I've gotten my clients is, I'm going to say 98% through social media.
Oh, great.
And I discovered that pretty early on. So I was like, I'm going to lean into this. And
which makes perfect sense.
So that's why I stay active with posting and with the reels and everything. And I like doing it too. I grew up doing theater and music.
Oh, I love that. I can see that.
And so like I haven't done any community theater in a few years. And so I feel like this is my creative outlet to like make these reels or go on to stories. And I don't know.
I love it.
It's fun being creative in that way too.
Okay, can I ask about that?
Yeah.
My dad was doing that as well.
Oh, yeah.
What did you act on? Like like the Omaha Community Playhouse?
Yeah. So I did musical theater all through high school. I went to Millard North.
Okay.
Graduated, I think it was like 2 years ago, 4 years ago.
Okay, do you want to say, you guys, she looks so good. It's like you own an aesthetics company or something as well.
I'm a big supporter of those companies. No, I have a big high school reunion anniversary coming up this spring.
Are you going?
I've never gone to any of them, but I think I don't know, I might go, but
might be
I'm not going to say how many years, but it's more than 5, less than 50. But yeah, so I did musical theater there. And then, a few years back, I started doing local theater again. And one of my last shows I did before the pandemic, and that kind of put a pause on theater for a while. And then I started my business, and then I don't have time for sure. I don't have time for theater now.
No,
although
like,
I'd love to do it again.
Crazy. Like my dad would be like every day after like works.
No,
his job,
we would have
11.
rehearsals 6 to 7 days a week, and then depending on the theater and depending on the show, the runs could be 2 weekends. The runs could be 3 weeks, Thursday through Sunday. So right before the pandemic, I was able though to do my bucket list performance. And I was in A Christmas Carol at the Playhouse.
Oh my gosh.
And I was my bucket list role. I was Lucy. She's the one who is at the party where Scrooge is at, and she's going crazy and she's giggling and laughing and she gets kissed.
That is amazing.
So like, I've always loved that show so much. It's magical. It's amazing. If you've never seen it, you're missing out.
Yeah.
And so I auditioned and I got that, and it was incredible. But that was a major time commitment. We started rehearsals in late August or September, and then we did like 32 or 34, something like that shows.
Wow.
It was crazy, but it was.
Do you know my dad, Mark Kosis, is my maiden name?
I don't know. I mean, maybe if I were to,
I'll show a picture.
See a photo. Yeah. So if the right show came along, where I felt it was worth it, I would do it. And I'm a single parent, so that's part of it. Is that I have this little girl that, when I'm not working, my life revolves around taking her to what she needs to do and putting her to bed and, all that kind of stuff.
And how old is she?
She's 10 and a half.
10 and a half
She's
now.
in 4th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you have a son?
I do.
And he's
24.
24.
He's a big boy.
That's nice to have a babysitter when she was born, right?
It's nice to have a babysitter now.
And now.
But so if I were to do the right show, my parents, they've made it clear, like, we will support you and we'll help you, and my son would help. But
you already did your dream one, so check.
I'm done. Yeah. Time to retire again.
Maybe if New York called.
I don't think they're calling, but if they did, I would answer.
That's so funny.
Yes.
Okay, so back to Neat Method.
Yes.
And also, I noticed like NEAT is like all capital. Is it short for something, or is it just like neat?
Yeah, we need. I have wondered. They've never said that NEAT is a stands for something. Yeah,
I just was curious.
So I've often dabbled, like trying to come up with my own little acronym, and I'm like, but what other word can you use for N besides neat? About organizing. Yeah. So
never ever a mess. That'd be NEAM.
Yeah.
Never ever never ever not tidy.
We'll workshop this later. Yeah.
We don't need to be changing the name of your business. I just was curious.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to talk about like specifically organizing tips and tricks. So a lot of people who listen, I would say, are either small business owners or support small businesses. And like, what tips do you have to get organized? Like, where do you start? Like, I'm on all this side of TikTok of like organizing, and it's like I have ADHD. My life is an absolute mess. My warehouse is a mess. My house is a mess. And like, I'll get in modes where I'll like, clean and then get organized, and I get to like one closet, and then it's like, it's chaos again.
Yeah.
Like what do you recommend?
I mean, obviously the first thing I recommend is reaching out to a professional.
Yes.
And I know somebody.
Yes.
And letting them come in, and because here's the deal, like I am a big supporter of hiring out.
Where you need
and saying like, okay, I need to have the time and the energy to be the best version of me and do what I need to do. So that means I need to let professionals take care of what isn't my strong suit or what I don't have time for. So, I do encourage obviously people to say, hey, let me bring a professional in. It can all be done in a couple hours, or it can all be done in one day, and then it's just done and it's set up.
And it's not looming in your
and
brain.
It's also set up in a system that like they couldn't come up with or see on their own, because I'm able to go in and like immediately see like creative solutions. I'm kind of tooting my own horn, but
well, no, that's your job.
Yeah,
yeah,
but it, like, and also just, there's something to be said about a different set of eyes coming in and seeing,
who's not around it all
and
the time,
seeing something from a different creative perspective and saying, what if we completely change this around, and what if we completely do that? So the biggest barrier when it comes to organizing that people have is just like you were said, like your attention span and your energy level is only so much, and you're at home in your space that you see every day, and you take a stab at it, and then you get distracted by this, or you take a walk down memory lane when looking at that. So that's a big struggle. And then also people tend to organize shelf by shelf or drawer by drawer. So like, let's say you go to your pantry or your linen closet, and they'll start kind of adjusting things on one shelf, or like moving things around in one drawer. And I call that rearranging and not organizing. So
wow, my mind's blown, because that's
job.
What I do.
Yeah. So in order to truly organize, it is a method, and that's the method that we use. You want to make sure you do it when you can allocate enough time to really be thorough about it. And that's the hard part. We work in a team of 2 to 4, depending on the scope. So we're able to get a project done in a few hours or in a day, or we're able to unpack and organize an entire home in 1 week. And nobody has time for that.
Right.
So, but what we do is we take absolutely everything out of the space, whether it's a closet or a playroom or a kitchen or a garage. We do garages, we do storage rooms. And a storage room is usually just one big junk drawer. And that's where everything goes to die, and nobody even really knows what they have in there.
Yep.
So it's not an efficient use of space. So we take absolutely everything out, and then we really finely sort and categorize. And we start with these big macro categories, and then we fine tune it down to micro categories.
Okay. And you're there, and the person is there as well.
So when we start this part, it's just us.
Okay.
Doing all the work.
Okay.
And so then when our client comes in is when we have everything organized in that way. So like let's say it's someone's primary closet, we're going to completely empty it out, and we're going to sort it, and then I'll tell them, okay, here's the time frame I need you back. And so go do your thing, go do your life, and then come back at this time. And then I walk through all the categories with them. But it's so much easier then to look through and make decisions about what the next step is, which is editing, which is, decluttering. It just sounds a lot better than getting rid of your...
Yeah, you're like, no, I don't want to throw anything away. No. I might need this.
It's all good. We're going to edit. But it makes it so much easier when I'm like, okay, now we're just looking at your black long sleeve t-shirts. Okay, now we're just looking at your white sweaters. Okay, now we're just looking at your light denim, because we have it categorized so finely.
Wow.
And so... and a lot of times people do, whether it's in a storage room or a closet or a garage, sometimes people are like, let's go. Like they really want to edit and get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
But, for the most part, it is kind of an emotional experience, especially when we're looking at, items that are sentimental or items that we've held on to for a long time. And so it can be difficult to let things go. And so I have a very gentle and empathetic, but a very firm approach that works really well. And by the time we get going, people are like, go, stay, stay. And they're feeling empowered by that. And
Awesome. So do you have a category for like something you won't wear anymore, but you want to save it?
Yeah, no, I don't allow that category.
You don't?
No.
Like what about a wet, like your rehearsal dinner, or like, oh, I met my husband in this dress. I don't want to give it away. It doesn't fit.
You have a photo of it.
Okay.
No, see, like,
I have like a whole closet of like stuff I don't wear.
Coming over. So I'm not, I don't strong arm anyone, and I tell them that.
Yeah.
Like if I'm really like looking at them and looking, and paying attention to verbal and nonverbal cues as we're going through the editing part.
So you're like a therapist as well.
100%. Yes. Because like I can tell if someone's like having a certain reaction. And so I'm not going to say, I told you we are editing this, and I don't care. And I'll say, let's come back to that.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, this section of dresses, it's not taking up that much room. We can keep it, and maybe one day you'll be ready. Mm-hmm. But, if it's something of holding on to clothing because I think I'm going to wear it when I get back to that size, or, I once loved wearing that. I am going to be honest and say, if you do get back to that size, you're going to want new stuff, and that's not going to be in style anymore.
Yeah.
Or I know you really liked wearing this at one point, but I have to be honest, as your friend, I'm not going to let you wear it out in public again because no bueno. So, things like that.
Gentle parenting.
Yes. And
Gentle organizing,
parenting, therapizing. Is that a word?
Yeah.
It is now.
You need to add that to your Instagram bio.
Okay, I will.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah. And I always say, especially when we're in, dealing with things that hold sentimental value, I encourage them, like, releasing that item does not take away the significance of the memory of it. Mm-hmm. Releasing that physical item doesn't mean it didn't once hold a lot of value or didn't once mean a lot or didn't once bring a lot of joy. You still have memories and you still have photos, but you can have the space or you can have the things, but you can't have both.
Right.
So, how do you want your space to look and feel and function? And that means it has to have less stuff in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I go between this crossroads of like, okay, I have so much shit, I'm getting rid of it. And then I give it away because whatever. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, something random came up and I need that one thing. Oh my God, I just gave it away. And then I'm so mad. So talk me through that, Miss Therapist, because I need to know.
Maybe you should lay down. Can we dim the lights? Can we put on some music?
You just buy it again.
I mean, here's the deal. So you have a dress that, you once used to love to wear and you had a lot of good times in it and then you get rid of it. You had those good times.
Yeah.
Get a new dress.
Yeah.
Make more good times, or really look at the stuff you have and say, do I have enough though?
Yeah.
Like realistically. And there, especially, we're talking about clothing a lot, but when it comes to clothing, there's this 80-20 rule, and it's 100% accurate that 80% of the time we wear only 20% of what we own. And it's hugely...
You think about that?
Yeah.
80% of the time. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the majority of the time we are only utilizing and wearing a very small percentage of our wardrobe. But we like to hold on to those things because it's like, what if I all of a sudden start going out a lot to really cute restaurants? Mm-hmm. Or what if I all of a sudden, start, doing this? Or what if? So we have to be careful with the what ifs, and we have to make sure we're making intentional choices about how we're truly living, whether that's in our closet or our garage or our storage room or our kids' playroom, whatever the space is, making these honest, intentional decisions. But if you really want to hang on to that stuff, there are ways to store them that take up less room. So you got to think about every area having prime real estate. Mm-hmm. So, in your primary closet or your eyesight level shelves in the pantry or in the kitchen, there are certain ones that are prime real estate that we need to dedicate to what we're using the most and what we value the most, what brings us the most joy.
Yeah.
And so if you have clothes that you want to hang on to for those just in cases, and I can't convince you otherwise, then I'll say, okay, but maybe we could put them into some vacuum sealed bags, or maybe we could put
them up,
or find another closet in the home that is not being utilized. And then I could kind of organize some things in there to create more hanging space in there. But there's a lot of creative things that can be done.
Yeah. Oh, I have so many more questions. Okay, so we talked a lot about clothing. Can you talk about other closets in general? Like, what is your favorite, bins to use and all of that stuff too? Like you said, you had a line, and you use a line.
I mean, honestly, my favorite products are from our product line, just because they are created in a way, they're not things that you can find anywhere else. Mm-hmm. And they do have a very elevated appearance, and they're made really well. And so I feel like we organize first for function. And some people say, you just come in and make it look pretty. And I'm like, thank you.
But there's more behind it.
Okay, thank you. I'll take that compliment. But here's the deal. When you're organizing for function first, and you're using products that fit the exact dimensions, the exact measurements of not only the shelf they're sitting on, but what's going in them. When you organize with symmetry, when shelves aren't overcrowded, and you use nice looking organizing product, it's going to look beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's not just arranging it to look beautiful. It's organizing it in an elevated way that therefore looks beautiful.
Function.
Yeah.
Function.
But I use a lot of product from the Container Store. I walk in and they're like, "Hey, Allison." And
you get a discount or like a contractor rate?
I do. And
okay,
that's
good.
another benefit of working with me is you are getting a discount.
Oh,
I
you
don't
pass it to the client
mark up.
too. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they get that discount. And I use a lot of stuff from Amazon. I have my own dedicated driver, I believe. And
are you
with
using
the amount of
like a Amazon storefront?
no,
You should be.
I know. I started trying to figure it out one time and I got confused. And then they sent me an email and they said, you did it wrong. And then I never went back.
Oh.
So I do need to figure out again because there's a lot of stuff I could link that people would find very helpful.
Especially your video. I love your videos and how
Thank you.
know,
yeah.
That'd be great.
So Amazon, Container Store, Target, Wayfair, lots of random places. And that's another benefit of using a professional organizer is the amount of time that I spend measuring your space, shopping for product. And I know, these different products that'll work. Like sometimes in a kitchen, I'm like, there's this bin back in the closet section that's going to be perfect.
Right.
Or vice versa. So like we can just find that stuff and save you a lot of legwork. Like a typical pantry will have product from 3 to 4 different vendors.
Okay.
Same with a closet. And so I'm not saying, to the client, okay, I need you to go out and get the bins. Because what everybody does when they try to organize on their own is they do it backwards and they go and they buy a bunch of bins.
That's exactly what I do.
And they go to At Home or Home Goods or whatever it is. Or I walk
this
by them.
This feels personal.
Yeah, well.
I'm just kidding.
You know what? God brought us together for a reason.
Wait, I know.
And like the Container Store, like I'll walk down the aisle and I'll see somebody and they're like holding 2 bins in their hand, looking back and forth. And I'm like, girl, I got you. I know what you're doing. So they'll get all these bins and they'll take them home and then say, okay, I'm going to organize. Okay, but they don't fit the space. They don't fit what you're containing. They're all different. So again, we're rearranging.
Oh my God. So you figure out what bins you need first and then you buy the bins.
So
I'm mind blown.
How the process starts is I go to their home for an in-home consultation. There's no way I can say, somebody will be like, how much time is it going to take to organize my pantry? I don't know what your pantry looks like. I don't know how you guys live. I don't know how many people you have in your home. I don't know what kind of, do you cook? Do you bake? Do you snack? What other, stuff do you use your pantry for? So I need to see it. I need to talk to them about how they live, their needs and their goals, take pictures, take videos, take a lot of measurements, and then I'm able to give them a proposal of, I think it's going to take 3 organizers this amount of time, and I think, the organizing product is separate, and I think that's going to fall into this range, and then I get the product. So I'll go into the product. We'll go into the project already with product, and then if I need to get some supplemental stuff, throughout the day, I go get it. But usually I have most everything I need because I've seen their space, I've measured their space, and we're ready to go.
I see. Okay, so walk me through. I'm interested in working with you. We do a consultation. Tell me from start to finish what that looks like. Your schedule, how you schedule it.
Yeah. So once I go to your home and I do all that, and then I send you a proposal a couple days later or a day later, and you're like, let's go.
Yeah.
Then it depends. This is it's like equivalent to an interior design world or a real estate world. There's a lot of ebb and flow to it, which I found to be a little stressful, especially coming from my other business where
go.
And it was always busy because we had, regular business. It was always busy and it just kept getting busier. So this has been, very ebb and flow. So there's times where it slows down and I'm like, well, I guess I'm done. That was fun.
What a good ride it was.
It was great.
That's all small business or a lot of small business.
Yes. Oh, I have talked to so many small business owners who, have told me they're in the same boat. And then all of a sudden I'll get 5 leads that afternoon and it'll get busy. So, sometimes we're booking 1 to 2 weeks out. Sometimes we're booking a month out. It just kind of depends on the ebb and the flow of it all. And so, so then we will get it scheduled. I always want to get it scheduled on a day that they would be available. 1.5 to 2 hours into the process, for an hour or so to do that editing part and make those decisions. And also because a lot of times we have a WTH pile.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like,
hey. I'm like, huh?
I don't know.
And you're like, I have no idea what
I don't know
this
which
is.
acronym.
What are these
acronym
handcuffs?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, I know what those are. But no, we have a pile where we're like, what is this? Now, Google reverse image search is very helpful.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the kitchen or the garage. Because we'll see a boy tool and I'm like, it looks like a tool. Like, I'm sure it's like
add that to the tool
I'm sure
pile.
you can micro categorize that more. So yeah. And then in the kitchen, there's so many different kitchen tools. And so we do Google reverse image search a lot. And I'll say to the girls, like, any guesses what this is? And I'll do it. Nope, this is what it is. That's for garlic. Okay, I buy it in a jar, but good for you.
Oh, you hand press it.
Okay, fancy. And then, but yeah, so we'll have a pile of like either we don't know what it is or like clearly this does not need to live in the kitchen.
Yes.
Or, in the mudroom or whatever. And so can you tell us where it needs to go or can we make it go away?
I see.
So
Very cool.
So we get it scheduled. And then, like I said, I pre-shop for the organizing product that's needed. And I also, want to make sure I'm picking out stuff that, goes aesthetically with their vibe of their house or goes with the vibe of that specific space, and especially like if someone is moving into a new home or they had their home, professionally remodeled and they worked with an interior designer, you don't want to have this like gorgeous new kitchen or this gorgeous new pantry and you spent time picking out the finishes and you spent time picking out like all the light fixtures and the details. Well, I want to make sure it looks good, on the inside too.
You open the cabinet and stuff's like falling out.
Yeah,
like,
like don't have this like gorgeous, with like the brass hardware and, trim and all this. And then we're not going to stick like, some random, like it's got to look good.
Yeah.
Again, going back to you want to love your home.
Yes.
You want to feel peaceful in your home. And I want to help, I want to be a small part of that.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned your girls. How many girls do you have working for you at Neat Method?
I have 5,
Wow.
6.
Are they all part-time? Or
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
They're all
that's
part-time.
hard with like ebb and flow. I feel like
Well,
that's
yeah.
what I struggle with too. With
Everybody is part-time, and I've been very fortunate to find some amazing women that have, flexibility in their schedules, and they're doing this because their kids are in school or their kids are grown or, they just needed something super, super part-time and flexible. And they absolutely are obsessed with organizing.
Yeah.
And they love the process and they want to learn more about the process. And so it's been great because, sometimes they'll work 1 shift a week. Sometimes they'll work 3 shifts a week. But all our hours are, in the time kids are in school. And this also, like, even if we got like super, super busy, which would be,
we're going to, obviously.
But, it's growing a lot and I'm very proud and, happy with where it's at. But like, it's hard work and I could never do it 5 days a week. Oh, and I'm going to be honest about that.
And just be like,
because I get done with days and it's just, it's not only physically such hard work, because especially, some spaces we're working in, it's like we're doing a lot of heavy lifting, up and down ladders, up and down stairs, doing this, doing that. Like when we're doing a garage, we're installing the slat wall on the walls. We're assembling like shelving,
So you have to know something about tools.
I do know a little something. I know a hammer and I know a screw and a wrench. I think I know a wrench. So, yeah. But so not only is it physically really hard work, and we're sweating and like, all of the things, but mentally it is on like the entire time.
Yeah.
Because #math.
Yeah. Using your brain.
Yeah. You're having to like do math and do, logistical work. And so, at the end of a day, like my head is sometimes really killing me and my body feels it, but it's really satisfying.
Yeah.
So like, ultimately it's like, who cares? Like, it's so satisfying knowing that we helped somebody in that way and knowing that we, did this transformation that is going to last and can be maintained. And
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maintaining
so
it
it's
is
fun.
another thing too.
Yeah.
It is funny though, going into someone else's space. Like my house is a disaster, but like I will, like my sister will be like, hey, can you come over and help me? And like at her space, I can be like, okay, no, you haven't used this. Give it away. Like
Yeah.
it's so much easier to do that for someone than like yourself for your own stuff.
But people always ask me, like, is your house super organized?
Is it?
And they say, they say it in a way like, come on. I'm like,
do I trust you?
And I'm like, yeah, it really is, because
Yeah.
I know the value in it, and I know the value in efficiency.
Yeah.
And finding exactly what I need when I need it. And like, I live in a 2-bedroom townhome, and we don't have all the space, especially, the kitchen. Mm-hmm. And I had to build a pantry because there was none. So the space is so small. So we have to utilize what I, do in clients' pantries, which is a backstock zone. Mm-hmm. And that's in a closet in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Because the pantry can only hold, again, that prime real estate, the pantry can only hold so many snacks.
Right.
And when you're a 10-year-old girl, you like to have 10 options of snacks at all times.
For sure.
And then you got to get the Costco, snacks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to put, a Costco's box of Cheez-Its in my pantry if the space is only so much. Right. And I'm certainly not going to put the box of the Cheez-Its in my kitchen. Yeah. So I have a very small area set up for snacks with different options. And then everything else is in backstock. And even Piper knows, when it's running low, she goes to the backstock and replenishes from there. And it just, and she knows how to file fold her clothing to put it away so it fits in her drawer better.
Tell me more about that.
So I was almost thinking about bringing
clothing
to show, because when I go do events and speak at events, I always talk about file folding and show it, and people are like, slow down. And our clients love it, but it's so much easier. I just had a client yesterday and she's like, I don't fold as good as you guys, so I'm not going to maintain it. And I'm like, girl, I got you. I'm going to teach you. Yeah. Because it's so much easier. So, traditionally people keep their drawers one of two ways. And the first is laying things flat, and then you're sifting through a pile, and you have to lift the entire pile out to look what you're looking for. So again, going back to the 80-20 rule, you are going to wear the top few shirts on that pile, and you are never going to wear the stuff at the bottom because you don't know it's there.
Right.
And then the other method is my own personal favorite, where it's we're just going to shove it in there, and we're going to try to close it, and fingers crossed. So file folding, and there's a lot of videos out there, and we actually have videos on our page showing how to file fold t-shirts, sweatshirts, leggings, tanks, denim, everything.
Ooh, on your Instagram?
Yeah. Oh. We have reels that show how to file fold everything.
I didn't come across those.
I will share them to our stories so that you can be top of page. But it's just a matter of, so think of a filing cabinet. When you look into your drawer, you want to be looking at your clothing like a file. And so that instead of having to sift through a pile, it's all right there. It's all right there. And so it's just a method of folding them so they stand up like that. And so we don't, not only do we file fold, but then we will organize it by color. Okay. So then you'll immediately be able to see what you're visually looking at. And then when you go to replace something after you do laundry and you refold it, then you just
right back there.
Right back there.
I'm going to need some extendery things too, I feel like. And
the dividers. Yeah. So the drawer dividers are wonderful because they create boundaries and zones between types of clothing. So with drawer dividers, you want to make sure you measure your drawers depth, meaning from front to back, but then also measure your drawers height because they make drawer dividers in so many different sizes. And so you want to get an expandable drawer divider that will, snugly fit from front to back, but also, if you have a deep dresser drawer, like a little 2-inch drawer divider's not going to do any good. So you want to get one that's 5 or 6 inches high.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay, walk me through kids' toys.
Love it. The playroom is legit my favorite space to organize.
Oh, great.
Yes, because I love getting rid of stuff. And I love editing. And the playroom is prime spot for eligibility of editing because, come on, we buy our kids way too much stuff. And kids do not need that many toys and that many options. They get overwhelmed. And then if there's no structure to an organization of a playroom, then, they're going to make a mess with toys, and I want them to.
Yeah.
Clients, after I do a playroom, they're like, I don't want the kids to come in and touch it. I'm like, I do.
Yeah.
I want them to play with it because that's what
it's for.
But now they can find what they're looking for easier because we have them zoned and categorized in such a way. And I'm a big fan of using clear bins in a kid's playroom. And because the colors of toys are so fun to look at. And then also, so visually it looks awesome, but then also they can clearly find what they're looking for. But then it makes cleanup so much more easier because if you don't have any kind of structure, or you have like a big toy box, which is just like a big abyss, or like a big basket, or like a cube system with like cloth bins, but you can't see through them and there's no labeling. So then you'll say, clean up. And they're like, I don't know what that means. And so you just, they shove their toys everywhere.
Right.
And then they can never find. So 80-20 rule, they're only going to play with, well, if they're little, they're going to play with a spoon or, an outlet or a box.
Yeah.
But if they can see what they're looking for and clearly, find their toys. And we like to use a toy rotation system a lot where, again, in that prime real estate, we're going to put a selection of toys, and then maybe in a closet or on a higher shelf, we're going to put like a back stock of toys. And so mom and dad or nanny can rotate, because then it's like, wow, a new toy, this month. Yeah. But then also, if each bin is labeled, then it's kind of hard to screw it up. If I'm holding a dinosaur in my hand, I think it's going to go in that bin right there.
Yeah.
If I'm holding a Barbie in my hand, chances are it's going to go in that bin called Barbies.
Awesome. I need to do that. Okay, so but could you do my whole house?
Absolutely.
Like, what do most people do? Like, what's your top thing that your clients do?
Space.
Closets? Yeah.
Closets or kitchens and pantries.
Okay.
But what happens the majority of the time is they'll bring us in and they'll say, we just, we want to do one space. And then it kind of snowballs from there because they get addicted to how it operates. They get addicted to, how it feels, and then they want their whole house done. So one of my most fun stories is one of our clients. She's one of my favorites. They finished a remodel of their home in Elkhorn. Stunning, beautiful. And that's another part about this job I love. It's seeing,
you get to see good houses.
Oh my goodness. Seeing these, there are some amazing designers in Omaha, and seeing these amazing, beautiful homes. And so she said, we just finished this remodel. I just have a couple small spots. Do you do small projects? And we do everything. She said, just my mudroom and my laundry room. Okay. So we did that.
Obsessed.
And then we did her garage and her playroom and her closet and her daughter's closet and her kitchen and her pantry and her basement. And now she is on our VIP membership maintenance plan.
What? Tell me about this.
Where we go once a week, and kind of it's almost a house management role. So we go and...
I know who this is.
I don't know if you do.
No, I think I do.
We'll talk offline.
Yes.
And we go and we refresh. And I have multiple clients that are on our membership plan.
I love that.
But we go once a week, every other week, once a quarter, once a month. There's lots of different options.
Yeah.
And we refresh spaces we've organized. So life happens. And I can also look at, so it's kind of about putting things back together, refolding. You get a Costco order, putting that food away, checking expiration dates, but also I'm able to go, you're not living the way you were 6 months ago. I can clearly tell that. When we set this up, this is how it was functioning for you, but I can tell needs have evolved or whatever. So then I can change the system around a little bit, or change bins or change labels to accurately reflect. Or again, refolding laundry or unpacking after a trip, or, fresh, or, gift wrapping. Or
that's so nice.
There's a lot of different things you can do with the membership, with the home management membership. But you have to have used our services for that space before.
Right.
Because we can't put your laundry away in a closet or a drawer that we haven't organized.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, but once we've done some spaces for you, then we can come back and keep it organized. Because that doesn't mean that we're creating spaces that don't stay organized. They do. I've yet to walk into a client's home to do a follow-up project.
Yeah.
That it's I'm what happened? Yeah, there may be a couple things moved around, or, you know, the husband may have set something down. He saw some open shelf space and he set something down.
Yeah.
And I have to say, there's a bin for that, Todd. No, I don't know any Todds, but, but for the most part, I'm like, you guys, I'm so proud of you. And I'm also proud of us that we set up systems that
work,
that can be maintained, because that's the point.
Yeah.
It's not about just making it look good for the now.
Right.
It's about, let's set you up a system that will help your life for, you know, the long haul.
Wow. Love it.
Yeah.
Need it.
Yeah. Let's go.
So where would someone reach out to you? Just Instagram or on your website?
Yeah. So they can go to neatmethod.com.
Okay.
And I think it's like /Omaha. We'll take you to my page, to our landing page. Instagram, we're at Omaha_neat. Cool. Facebook, Neat Method Omaha. And then my number and my email address are
There's
all
so
over.
many ways to find you.
There's so many ways. Flying, is it pigeons? Let's send one. Let's find out. I don't know.
Oh, I love that. All right, cool. So if anyone's interested. I also hear that you like Bravo.
Just a little bit.
Did you watch Summer House last night or 2 nights ago?
Yes. I can't. It's the Carl and Lindsay of it all for me.
I was like so team Carl, and now I'm like I'm team none of them. I'm team none of them.
I'm team Sierra and West.
Yeah. Oh, me
but
is West a player though? I'm unsure.
I
love him.
No, I love him, and I want to believe he's not. I want to believe he's young and figuring it out, but like sometimes you are young and dumb, and then you meet just the right one that all of a sudden it changes. Mm-hmm. And so I'm hopeful. That's what our queen is to him, because she is the best. You hurt her and I kill you. So says the other queen, Paige.
I love Paige.
But no, Carl and Lindsay, so uncomfortable to watch at the very beginning of this season.
He didn't take her freaking luggage.
I'm sorry. I'm team Carl, and I will be till the day I die. He's reached his breaking point. Oh. She is psychotic.
See, I agree. I think she's psychotic, but I do think like, okay, he's sober. So like he knows how to act in front of the cameras, and then I think it goes off and he's different.
Yeah. I mean, well, obviously, but their whole relationship is so stilted and so like
it's so bad,
uncomfortable. Like the conversations they have on camera, I feel like they've had a script like, okay, you know, I'm going to say I'm wearing this hat, and you're going to say, oh yeah, it's for sun protection. Okay, let's go.
I feel like I've noticed that with ads of weird things. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can't even think of an example of one. I'm like, dude, is that an ad? That's a freaking ad.
When they were at Old Navy, that was legit an ad.
For sure an ad.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love watching all reality TV, because I just, you know, when you have a stressful day, you like to turn your brain off and just be entertained.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some scenes with them that I remember, like after the very first episode of this season, I texted my friend and I said, Carl and Lindsay, they're breaking up. It now all makes sense. It comes as zero surprise. Mm-hmm. So
zero.
I mean, yeah.
I love when they were like, oh, he's like, she's going to think I blindsided her. And she's like, I just feel so blindsided.
Oh, how weird.
See, but I also think, it's crazy that he did bring the cameras to wherever he's from with his mom and his stepdad too. Like,
well, I mean, I don't think it's weird, because I know like enough about reality TV now to know it's the majority of it is fabricated, and you don't know what to believe. Like on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, like with Kyle.
Yeah.
Like I'm like I don't know. Like you don't know like what you can believe.
Wait, is that new?
No, last season.
Oh, last season. Okay, I thought you meant like it was on.
No, when she separated premiere. And then was all of the habit. This like, is she or isn't she?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you can't.
Yeah. No, I know.
You know, like again, I feel like I'm pretty good at reading people, and so I'm like watching these reality people, and I'm like,
something's up.
I'm not buying what you're selling.
Yeah. No,
but it's still super entertaining, and I'll never stop.
Kyle and Amanda, Summer House, thoughts?
Yeah,
him freaking out.
I as soon as I started watching him starting to spiral, I was like, ooh, I wonder if Loverboy is having some like financial
100%. That's exactly what I said.
Or legal or some sort of issues.
It's worse than he's saying.
No, it's because it's not about what she said. What she said, I hate this word, but it triggered something in him because, hurt people, like you only respond in ways if you have like, if that's triggering something or if you have other stuff going on, like people don't just freak out like that. But I mean, I love them and I love her so much. I always have. And all I want in life is to be besties with her and Paige and Sierra and go lay in a bed with them. Literally. With all my makeup off and shit talk people and watch my iPad.
I was like dead when Danielle was like, about Kyle, she was like, oh, imagine if you worked so hard for something and like your spouse didn't appreciate it. And you're like, dude, shut up. You're like, you don't even get what it's about.
Yeah.
She's annoying.
Yeah.
Sierra and Wes going horseback riding was cute though too.
Yeah,
but then that conversation, oh my gosh, I was like, Wes,
it caused me physical pain because you could see that Sierra was like,
getting like she was pissed, but trying not to,
but hurt.
Yeah, hurt. Yes.
And it was like, so watching this date, like you can tell also like there's scenes where like it's somebody else is at the forefront of the scene, but then her and West are like behind a little bit, and she cannot keep her hands off of him. Yeah, and you can tell she's like so lovey-dovey. And I'm somebody that like, I've had a past, and I have been hurt in the past, so like I try not to bring that with me into a new relationship, but. You can't help but be guarded. Yes. So then when you do finally say, okay, I'm going to try to let my guard down a little bit, and then they say something like that conversation, and then you feel like 10 times more hurt than...
Right. And I knew I shouldn't have let my guard down.
I knew it. I will never be soft again. Yeah. Oh my And gosh. You feel that guard going right back up again. Right. And I could see that happening with her. And I'm like, Sarah, I know. I feel you. It's horrible.
And I wanted to be like, and Wes is like, yeah, we're on the same page. I'm
and
like,
she's
like,
no,
you're
but
not.
But we're not. We're actually not. And I hate you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could feel that.
And like, I do agree too. Like getting your shit together is stupid. Like guys are dumb.
Yeah.
Just say that.
I mean, for the most.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Any other? You watch Salt Lake? I don't watch that. Should I?
Yeah, you should. It's amazing. And Beverly Hills. I haven't watched Jersey since the Teresa flipping tables.
Days. So forever ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it got to be too much or
too sad with family.
It was there was I'm like, so I want to be entertained, but I don't want to be like sad and disturbed. So that's why like Beverly Hills and Orange County, and I do love the new New York cast, and I didn't think I would
100%,
but I've loved it. And I'm like, please come back soon. I miss you.
Do you watch The Valley?
Jax, I tried one episode, hated it.
Okay, it's actually really good now because like the people that on it suck, but it's like the new characters that are like carrying the show. In my
interesting, opinion. Yeah, I tried a little bit of it, but Jax,
literal gaslighter.
He is
literally
the worst.
The worst.
I mean, Sandoval is
the worst.
but other than that,
I also at this point I'm like so over that. I'm over
like, it.
Can we just give him a break?
Yeah,
my God.
I mean, but it was what we needed when we needed it.
Exactly.
And
that is so true.
It was a gift from above. Yes. For that time. Yes.
Anything else you want to like promote? Oh, tell me, is there any more services that you have? I know we talked a little bit about your services, but is there anything else you want to just button up with?
Our organizing a space in your home is what we're known for and what you see. But, we can, like, again, the home management services, we offer that and plans for that. But, our moving services is what really is what we specialize in. So, like, getting your home packed up. Getting your home unpacked and organized. Oh, yeah. We just had a client that, we had two big ones recently. One, they just remodeled their entire home. And then, so that's stressful. Yeah. And long and exhausting. And so on moving day, firefighters dropped off all these boxes. Ooh. And within 5 days, their entire home was organized, was unpacked, labeled, every box gone. I mean,
that's so exciting.
The day they moved in, she was cooking dinner in their new kitchen. Like, easily. And I mean, who does that?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. And then we have
I
another.
feel like you have it's like camp. You go with you're going to someone's house with your friends to organize.
Yeah.
It's 5 days and then it's done. Like that's like a camp.
It is super fun camp. It is super fun camp. And we do sing a lot of songs. I'm not going to lie. I'm more entertained than my employees are by me singing. And then like we had another client and they're getting ready to list their home and they were going to have a broker's open. And so we went in and we edited, we decluttered the kitchen, the pantry, the mudroom, and their closet. And we helped them donate and part with a lot of things, but we also packed up a lot of things that they're not going to need. And then I got them a storage unit, arranged to have it all moved over to the storage unit, and
perfect.
Got it all organized.
And they got more money for their house.
So it presents well. Because, so here's the deal. If you're listing your home and your closet or your pantry or your mudroom or your kitchen is a mess, people are going to see that and they're going to go, oh, there's not enough storage space. Or, oh, this doesn't function. When it does, and it can, so we need to show that.
Yep.
So same thing like with having your house
staging
cleaned, or staged. We can stage, storage areas and then help you get up.
Love that. That's
home.
perfect. And they just got way more money for it looking like, oh, I could live here. I want to live here.
I should ask for
they literally
some royalties.
You should.
Okay.
But I'll make a note. Spending the money with you, get your money back over by selling your home.
Yeah, no, we organized someone's storage room.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
And created so much more storage. And then she texted me a month later and she said, this is crazy, but we've decided to sell our home and we already have interest in it. You got us all organized and people are noticing.
Oh, so, yeah. That's so rewarding.
Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. I also love your tips and tricks. You guys should follow her on Instagram. The product labels using a hairdryer, your reels are really good. So you guys should follow along.
Yeah, I love sharing
But
them.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
It was fun.
Yes, thanks. Love you. Bye.